In a previous video, we showed you how to power your Twitter feed with a SharePoint list in a very simple way. In this video, we'll show you how to build a more business-friendly scenario using approvals. This way, anyone with list access can contribute tweets, and the social team can approve or reject those tweets. The team maintains control of the account and what content actually goes out to the real world. Let's jump right in. So I'm here on the Flow homepage. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Approvals tab in the top of the page. Now let me go ahead and then click on Create Approval Flow in the right-hand corner of this page. This shows me a series of templates that I can interact with, connecting to SharePoint, connecting to Power Apps, connecting to Twitter, and also connecting to Dynamics 365. So let's go ahead and click on this template here, which posts list items to Twitter after receiving approval. As with all templates, the first step is to verify my credentials to SharePoint, to approvals, as well as for Twitter. So let me go ahead and click Continue. Now, by default, what this template does is when a new item is created in a particular list, it starts an approval process. And if somebody approves, it then posts a tweet to Twitter. So what we're going to do is we're going to modify this process a little bit. And we're going to also update a SharePoint list with the approval response, whether it was approved or not, as well as comments that an approver may have put on that proposed tweet. So let's go ahead and modify the previous list that we created called Contoso Tweets. The first thing I'll do is I'll add a column, a yes/no column, for capturing the status. So we'll call it approval status. Let's add another column here for capturing the approver's comment. So let's call it approver comments. Now, we'll head back into Flow and modify our flow so that we're connecting to that specific list. So here in the trigger, when a new item is created in SharePoint, I'll go ahead and select my site, Process Info Partners. I'll also select the list that I was working on, which is Contoso Tweets. In the Start an Approval action, there are 5 fields, a title and an assigned to, which are mandatory. And optionally, you can include details, an item link, and a description pointing to a specific link. So in this case, for the title, we'll go with new tweet, and then we'll add in details from our SharePoint list. So on the right-hand side, these are the columns that I see in my list. Things like approval status, approver comments, a category, a purpose, etc. So let me go ahead and click on title here. So new tweet for title. In the assign to, I can either assign this to a specific person using a people picker, or I can also find the person that created the item, their manager, and put in a dynamic token pointing to that person's manager. So in this case, let me go ahead and put myself in. And in the details, let's include the tweet text and who tweeted it. So here I have tweet text, who it's tweeted by. In the item link, let's throw in a link to that SharePoint list. And in the link description, let's give a description pointing to that list. So here we'll say Contoso Tweets list. Now let's go back to our details and modify this just a little bit further. Let's go ahead and say, instead of including, let's include the tweet content. And let's also say on, and let's include the tweet date. So there's a new tweet for a particular purpose, and the details will say what that tweet is, as well as when it should be tweeted out. Now let's also include who created that item. Let's include the creator's display name. Okay. The next step is to have a condition that says if the response is equal to approve, then I want to post the tweet. Now, the response returns 2 values. It either returns an approve or a reject. What we're doing in this flow here is if the response is equal to approve, then we're posting a tweet. So let's modify this and let's add an action here that also updates that same item in SharePoint. So we'll select the same site that we were using earlier and the same list as well. In the ID, will refer to the ID of the item that was created. We'll use the same title. However, in the approval status, we'll now change it to yes, and in the approver comments field, we'll include the comments provided by the approver. Now, with our modern approvals experiences, an approver can see all of their pending requests, and for a given approval, they can actually type in comments about why they're responding, either approving an item or rejecting an item. Now let's do the same thing on the no side as well, but this time let's set approval status to no, and again, capture the approver's comments. So once again, we'll refer to the same site address, the same list, same ID, and we'll use the same title. However, this time, in the approval status, we'll set the field to no, and we'll also include the approver's comments. Let's look at our post-tweet action, make sure everything is as expected. In this case, instead of using the title, we'll modify this and use the tweet text or tweet content. So let's go ahead and save our flow here. Now that our flow is built, in the next video, we'll see what the experience looks like when an approver receives a new request for a tweet that's being proposed. So now that we have an approval process in play, share your SharePoint list with your team, offer them the ability to pitch in with clever questions, relevant news, or even product guidance, and you still get to maintain full control over what's actually tweeted out. This is just one way that Microsoft Flow can empower productivity in your teams. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more information about the Approval Center.